Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode, and today I've got some stuff to share with you per usual. It might be a shorter episode, probably not, but we'll see. We'll see how she goes. Mainly this is going to be like a kind of a surplus goodies eccentric episode because I got a box from him, from Surplus Goodies. By the way, great dude, great hobby dealer, just an excellent all-around guy. He supports my channel, and that is very much appreciated. So thank you very much, Jimmy. And he's got 3 Auto World exclusives that are have been coming out back to back to back. I've got one of them here today, the one that's actually out. The other ones I think they just became in stock as well. So I think hopefully I'll have those like next week or something like that, or a week after that, or we'll see. But I got a box from him. This is his latest exclusive, and I think he teamed up with another person on this. Lot 57 Supplies Diecast Collectibles. So they teamed up to bring you Muddin USA, which is this guy right here. So of course it's an Auto World square body truck, and yes, we've seen a lot of square bodies, but I love the stuff that Surplus Goodies has done as far as exclusives go. The barn finds are really cool. This Muddin series is kind of cool. I think this might be the only one that they do. I don't know if they're going to do any others. I'm not really sure. But this is really cool. And then the ones that are coming out, the Heartbeat of America or whatever, are going to be pretty awesome too. So these are limited to $24.96. It's got the cowl hood on it, which the cowl hood, by the way, is exclusive to Surplus Goodies. He's got basically the rights to that tool, I think, for a while. Or exclusivity to use that hood tool for a while. I don't know when he stops, when it's open to everybody, but right now that's his. So I've got the regular, and that's fantastic. I got the sticker. That looks pretty cool too. And then I got the pin. Very cool. And then, of course, I've got, no big deal, the Ultra Red. Super awesome. Limited to 104 pieces. He's also, I believe, the only hobby dealer that actually puts these, got these stickers made where it says Ultra Red Limited to, and then 104 pieces worldwide. I think he actually has to hand write that 104 on there, maybe? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he just gets them printed. Anyway, they're really cool. So that's pretty neat, especially for you carded collectors, to have something on here that actually says how much how many the Ultra Red are made. That's very awesome for you guys that collect stuff and keep it on card. Of course, yeah, I'm gonna open these, and we always do. We're gonna take a look at those. But I am pretty pumped about getting the Ultra for this. I'm definitely going to be pumped about getting the other 2 that are coming, hopefully very soon to me. So we'll see. But very, 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 very awesome. Thanks again, Jimmy. But there's more. We've got those. That's the exclusive stuff. Very awesome. But he also deals in other some premium diecast as well. He does some Para64 stuff. He does some Tarmac work stuff, and then we've got Sparky. I think these have been like in the works for pre-order for a really long time. These Porsches, 24-hour Le Mans, or 24-hour Le Mans. I think it's just spelled German there. 24 Heures du Mans. I don't know how to say that. It has the race car driver's name on here, but this is a Gulf livery Porsche. What is it, 917K? Is that the model of this thing? Anyway, it's super cool. Very, very neat. And we're going to take a look at that. I like the Sparky stuff. Really cool, budget-friendly premium race car diecast is what we'll call that. These weren't that expensive, and they got some pretty good quality, and I am a fan. So, very cool to get one of these. I might get a couple more. I don't know. I might get different. They have this in a Martini livery. I don't know if Surplus has it, but it's out there. Might have to pick that one up too. That would look pretty cool. And then we got 2 Para64 or Para64, I don't know. But we got more of the roof CTR. We have it in Irish green and Guards red. So now I've got this in a 4th and 5th color. This casting is excellent. I probably will pick it up in every single color they come out with. I've got it in the standard yellow, I've got it in black, and I've got it in like a a minty green sort of thing. I've always loved the way that this car looked, or the 911 in particular looked, in like a forest green kind of like look, this Irish green. I've always loved the way these cars looked. Every time I'd get one in like Gran Turismo or Forza or whatever the game may be, I always painted it this color green. So I had to get this one. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's just get it in red too. So we're going to go ahead and open up those. We'll take a look at those. You guys are familiar with the casting. It's a very cool casting from Para64. And I think I've got all the colors so far that have come out. So that's pretty neat. All right. And then we got some Tarmac Works Road 64 stuff. I'm excited about these. I believe these are two brand new toolings. We got the Volvo 242 Custom in green. Looks pretty awesome in the box. Can't wait to get it out of the box and check it out. And then we've got the Toyota Supra in red. And we got that too. So this car, I believe they've also put out in some like racing type liveries and stuff like that. I didn't pick up any of those. I may pick up one depending on how cool the tooling is. But I wanted to get it in the Road 64. And that's kind of how I collect Tarmac. I don't get all the race car stuff from Tarmac. But when they come out with like the plain cars, I always am tempted to get those because they're really neat. So that's that. That's the stuff I got from Surplus there. We're also going to check out, I've got this like tray of loose cars, and I've been putting off showing them for a while. So, but we will look at these. We've got a full tray full of loosies here. Some of this stuff I picked up from Facebook. Some of the stuff I picked up at a local meet. I think most of it's from Facebook. Actually, I think all of it, now that I'm looking at this. Yeah, I think this whole tray is actually from Facebook, from a Facebook seller that I frequent. So we got this tray of cars, and we're gonna just kind of go through those one by one and take a look at those as well, probably at the tail end of the entire video. So we need to go ahead and flip the camera around. We need to take a look. We're gonna start with the Muddin USA trucks. We're going to start taking a look at those, and then we'll move into the premium diecast, and then we got, you know, some Hot Wheels and stuff, a couple Auto Worlds in here, some odds and ends in there. So, yeah, let's get right to it. All right, guys, so we're going to start, of course, with these Surplus Goodies Muddin USA trucks. I should say Surplus Goodies. I got a shout out to the Lot 57 supplies as well. Diecast collectibles. Let's see here. Let's read the back of this card, actually. Well, let's do this. Maybe you can read it too. They've collaborated to bring you this new Muddin USA series. We have dirtied our hands to bring you this mud-slinging, knobby-tired, trench-digging 83 Chevy Silverado K10 fleet-side pickup. Surplus Goodies and Lot 57 Supplies strives to bring the exclusive True 164 Auto World diecast vehicles you want most. Keep an eye out for future projects and new releases in 2022. All right, so again, stoked. They do some cool stuff. I don't know if Lot 57's involved in the next two that are coming out. They might be. I'll find out when we get them. Take a sip of my iced coffee here. All right, so we're going to get into these. Let's see. Do we have the tools we need for this video? We got scissors. We got, we're going to need a screwdriver later on. I got a blade. All right, we think we should be good. Pardon. Let's go ahead and let's check out this pin first. So these are neat. I save all these pins. The only pins I've kept in my collection that I've ever gotten were these ones from Surplus. And they are kind of cool. They're neat. Very neat. Maybe I could put them on like my camera bag or something. That might be a neat place to put them. But I typically just keep them on here. I actually just keep them in the plastic too. I've got a couple handy, I think, close by. I've got this one for sure right here. Got that that's a previous Surplus Goodies exclusive. I think I have the other one, another one here somewhere. But oh, here it is. Got that one too. So pretty cool that he like releases these pins alongside the trucks. It's kind of a neat little thing. The pins are kind of just a neat little add-on. So I dig them. There's people that like collect these pins. I'm not one of those guys. I don't collect the pins. I collect enough with this 164 diecast cars. I don't need another hobby of things to collect. Believe me, I have a problem. It's not just diecast cars. There's other things that I've collected in the past that I still have massive collections of, and maybe one day we'll talk more about that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, so here's a sticker. That's pretty cool too. It's like a matte finish sticker. It looks pretty awesome. So that's neat. I don't think it's licensed or whatever, so they can't put like. That's why it just has this little design right here instead of the like Chevy Silverado or whatever it would say right there in tiny writing. So that's neat. Again, surplus goodies. But let's get into the diecast. So, of course, we're going to start with the standard issue here. Limited to $24.96. So, again, pretty limited. It's hard to speculate what these things are going to go for later on when they're gone. But my guess is it's going to end up getting tough to get. A lot of these exclusives will because of the sheer limitedness of them. Now I know, there's some of you or one of you in particular that's probably going to make a comment that's going to say, there's so many dang square bodies, blah 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 blah. They're not limited at all because everybody's put out hundreds and hundreds of. But it doesn't matter because they're popular. People buy these. And a lot of people do like them, and I do like the variety that has been coming out. And believe me, some of these exclusives I haven't really cared for, but all the surplus goodies ones have been hits. The J-Car diecast ones have been pretty cool too. We've got there's been a few others. The like farm trucks ones were neat because they're basic. There's been some silly ones that have come out with some wacky graphics and stuff like that, and I know that's definitely not for everyone, and it's not really my cup of tea either, but stuff like this is definitely kind of my cup of tea. I kind of like this a lot because this makes me feel like this is like a mix between like an Auto World and a Johnny Lightning. Like this is like the muddy tires and stuff is something that you would see in a Johnny Lightning, not something you would see in a store-purchased Auto World. And this is kind of like the melding of the two brands where we get something kind of fun, and yet we get something that's like 1/64 scale and, the square body pickup. So I think it's a good combo, and I think it's really neat. I think that's one of the strengths around too is being able to pull from both brands to kind of help you make an exclusive or do something like that. I would love to do this kind of stuff in the future. If I ever had the money to invest in doing some exclusive Auto World or even Johnny Lightning, that would be pretty awesome. I'd be stoked to do that stuff. So really cool. So here we go. So here's the truck. As you can see, we got the mud splash on the side. The base is also painted the brown mud, which is good. I'm glad that they did that. That would have been bad to leave that bare metal. We got the mud on the tires. That's excellent. I got to think that getting the mud on the tires and actually painting the base probably cost a little bit extra to make this vehicle, is my guess. And then, of course, we get this cowl hood, which, again, is exclusive to Surplus Goodies exclusives. And we got Muddin back there on the plate. It's your standard issue, square body casting. This is the 83 Silverado K10. So, of course, we got that Chevy motor in there and the cowl hood. It's just a cool piece. Really neat. So this is a welcome addition to the square body collection. And yes, there are a ton of them. I have nearly all the ones that have come out. I am still missing some. And honestly, I have to go back and audit what I'm missing to figure out what it might be that I'm missing. It looks like we got a little bit of flashing left on the tire. It's a little extra rubber there. Easily rectifiable. You'll get that with these big marshmallow tires. And really quite cool. So I'm a fan. You guys will have to let me know what you think about these. I definitely recommend picking them up. Maybe leave yours carded. Might be a little bit more of a better investment to leave it carded. I don't know. I'm going to take really cool pictures of this. Hopefully. I think I'm going to bring it out today, actually. You guys won't see them until early next week or whatever, but I think I might take some cool pictures. I got a new camera and stuff, and to take actual really neat pictures. I've been using the smartphone for a long time, and I finally kind of getting back into photography. I used to be into it kind of back, in high school and stuff like that. I was into shooting SLRs, and I'm kind of getting back into that. So should be some cool stuff. We'll see. It's a fun hobby. There's another hobby. Yeah, let's add another one. That's a great idea, Dave. So, but you gotta have hobbies. Hobbies are fun. All right, so limited to 104 pieces worldwide. This is a very, by any standard, there's only 104 chases. That's rare. I mean, there's not that many out there. These are going to be difficult to get, especially later on. And, it's just, it is what it is. I've already come to the realization that I'm probably never going to have all of the Ultra Red hobby exclusive vehicles. As much as I would like to do it, it just is way too expensive. But I have a complete set so far of SURPLUSgoodies exclusive trucks. I do have a full set of Ultra Reds for that. So that is cool, and we're going to try to keep that going. Very, very awesome. So we've cut the package open. The damage has been done. We're going to go ahead and get this thing out and take a peek. So right off the bat, I am digging it. It's your ultra red color, ultra red base, muddy ultra red tires, or muddy red tires. I shouldn't say ultra red. And we got a little bit of flashing on the tire here too. Yeah, I'll get that off later. But again, easily rectifiable. And really cool. So it's just the mud over the ultra red. I like that they did it that way. I think it's pretty neat. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of the red tires. I think in this case, though, it works. It definitely makes it feel more chase-like when they do have the colored tires. I will admit that. And it does make it more desirable to people that collect chases. People that really go after the chases, they want the chase to be obvious. They don't want it to be sneaky. They don't want it to be subtle. They want it to stand out as a chase. And I get it. Even though I used to look at Ultra Reds back today as just a third color variation that I thought looked cool because this kind of color, this deepish, like ruby red color, has always been a color that I've been a fan of. I mean, I own a guitar in the color. I just really like red and this particular color. And that's why I really kind of fell in love with Ultra Reds to begin with. But I get it that they wanted to look like chases, and that's cool. Did we open the hood? I got to open it just in case. Yep, there's nothing under there different. We do have a red interior, though. So that is one difference. And just a really cool little set of trucks. So happy to have those. Again, thank you, Jimmy, for helping me out here. And I really do appreciate that. So let's go ahead and let's get into some premium stuff. And I think first let's look at the Sparky. Now, Sparky's a weird diecast company because they really don't put out a ton of stuff. They don't have a huge, I shouldn't say they don't put out a ton of stuff. They don't put out a ton of stuff in 1/64 scale. And you don't see it come out very often. I don't know much about the brand. I believe they're German. I think. No, the first language on here is English, and then I think that second one is... What do I know? I'm an idiot. Olympia, Tapai, Macau, made in China. Produced by Mini Max Import Export. I don't know what I'm talking about. So let's just look at the car because that's what we're here for. So, there's sip here. All I know is these been listed for pre-order for over a year. These cars. Here we got somebody glued their hair into that. That is a genuine Chinese hair. Pardon me for all the throat clearing here. So the delay obviously was probably, pandemic related, whatever supply chain disruption thing you want to talk about. So we've got Porsche 917K Le Mans 1970. And there's a driver's name, or drivers, the two drivers. And, oh, by the way, I have to say this. I love this packaging. This packaging is fantastic, and let me show you why. We got an acrylic case. I like acrylic cases because it allows me not to have to make room in a carny case. I don't know what that is on there, though. It allows me not to have to make room in a carny case because I can put this right back in here, stack them up, and you got your own display case, basically. So that's cool. The other super cool thing about the Sparky stuff is the way that they do the bases. No screw. There's no screw there. That is cool because you can just go, well, maybe, don't you turn it clockwise, and that little mechanism releases the car. And there you have it. So, question number 1, does it roll? No, it doesn't. Not at all. It does not. I mean, you probably could play with these tires and get it to roll a little bit, but it doesn't, and who cares, really? You're not going to be, racing this down an orange track, so I know a lot of you like the cars to roll, and sometimes I'm a big fan of it, too. It's charming, but it doesn't need to. This has a lot of detail in it. It's odd because I would consider Sparky to be sort of a budget premium brand. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they're like under $15 a car. And I mean, if you think about it now, I mean, the prices of this stuff has gone up somewhat for even like a premium Hot Wheels, right? It's like $6 now in store for us in the US. And so this is approximately, $9, whatever, more than that. And then of course you got to pay shipping if you're getting it from wherever, but you get a lot of detail with these models. They're riveted together. It's got rubber tires with a tread pattern on it. It's got the rubber tires. It's got the detail. It is metal on plastic. The base is plastic. Back here, this stuff, of course, is all plastic, but you get quite a few details back here. Very, very nicely done. And I quite dig it. The top of this is plastic. I mean, this is definitely a cool model. Probably the best Porsche 917K that you can get in 1/64 scale would be this tooling. And I think it's a brand new tooling from Sparky too, because I don't think they've come out with this any other time before. And so that is really cool. So you'll probably see this in a bunch of different liveries. In particular, Golf. There's going to be a couple different variations of the Golf one. And then there's going to be, there are, I should say. And then there's a Martini one I would love to probably pick up, and I probably will. And I just think it's a fantastic little model. I'll definitely want to take some cool pictures of this car. So the neat thing is okay, so we're done looking at it for a minute, and we can just go pop it back on the base. Turn the little knob anti-clockwise. Put our little cover back on. Packaging's pretty basic. We got this little thing, and then this is how it's going to display for now in my diecast room. If we can get the case back together. So we'll just pop it in like that, pop it in like that. It is licensed, by the way, even by the 24 Le Mans official licensed product. So that's cool too. Yeah, all in all, this is a pretty stellar piece. I think he might be out of these, but just check on Surplus Goodies eBay store and see if you can find them. You might be able to. All right, so next, what should we look at next? Tarmac? Let's do Tarmac, because these are new tooling. So we got some more neat new stuff here. Which one do you want to look at first? We got Christmas going on here. We got red and green. Let's do Supra first. So these are packaged, again, in an acrylic case, much like the Sparky. They do have a wrapping here, though. More of a cellophane style wrapping taped together. We will remove that. Again, I do like the boxes, because, again, I can just display this car as is. Right there. If you want to take it out, just take it out, unscrew it from the base, take some pictures of it, and move on. These are also numbered, which is kind of cool. It says it's a limited production model. You know, hey, we're now part of the revolution. That's neat. And then it's limited to or I don't know what it's limited to, but this is number 1004. They are serialized. At least the card is number 1004. I don't think they actually publish the true production number of how many are actually made, so possibly the number might be meaningless to a lot of you, because, I mean, what do we know that's 1004 of what? I'm not sure. But here is this car, and initial impressions are positive. I think it looks pretty good. Okay, can we want to bet on it? Is it gonna roll? Do you think it's gonna roll? Here's the bets we're gonna make. Is it gonna roll? Is the base made of plastic or metal? Because sometimes Tarmac will do metal bases. I think they do sometimes, right? They do it on the Global 64 line. They're metal. I bet you it's plastic. And then I bet you it's not going to roll either. That's my bet. What do you guys think? What's it going to do? Kind of adjust my lighting here. And then we're going to go ahead and unscrew it from the base. One screw down here. Removes it from the base, and definitely not going to roll. Definitely not a roller in the slightest. And yes, it is a plastic base. It is screwed together, not riveted, which is actually nice and preferred to me, because if there is an issue, you can take this car apart, make some adjustments, and put it back together. So if you need to do that, you can do that with these, and having that option is actually kind of nice. Overall, it looks to be a pretty nice model. We've got some details up front, including some inserts for the turn signals. We got a license plate up front. We have a license plate in the back. That's actually looking a little bit wonky. It's a little bit off center. And we got some taillights that look pretty good. You can kind of see when you're looking up close some of the glue that's used to hold them in. So it's not perfect. The tailpipe, the tips here are not quite aligned perfectly straight. If you want to get nitpicky about it, on my particular model, obviously the quality control is going to be different for everybody slightly. Rims look pretty decent. We do have some flat spots in the tires, and that's from sitting on the base, I think, for a period of time. But all in all, I mean, it's pretty detailed. It's pretty cool. It's kind of a neat little piece, so I'm glad to have it. It's not super exciting, but it's pretty decent. I think I need to get a racing livery one. I think those look actually a lot cooler. Now that I got this one in hand, it's kind of plain. It's cool. It's nice to have like the stock vehicle, but it would be cool to get one that's more of like got like a racing livery on it. I think that'd be cool. This does have like racing seats in it though, and it does have the looks like a 5-point harness in there. Detail added to the seats. You can't really see it that well through it. The windows are not like crystal clear like you would see on a like a Tomica Limited Vintage or something like that, where the glass is like perfectly clear and you can see right in. So, but it's still really cool. Still a cool model. This one I'm actually more excited about. This is the Volvo 242 Custom. Small size, big heart Tarmac for good. Road 64. What number did we get? Number 1448. That's cool. Again, we get an acrylic case, and again, I'm a fan of those. I like them, especially when they're like a pretty good high quality. These are not too thin. They're not like, you know, no offense to M2 collectors, like the M2 real thin plastic that scratches really easy and stuff like that. This isn't quite like that. Mirrors are hard plastic. They're hard plastic on the Supra as well. Let's go ahead and get this one off the base. So, is it going to roll? Negative. Plastic base? Correct. Screwed together? Yep. All that. Pretty sick little model, though. We've got inserted details, of course, for the headlights and the grille. And it's very nice. It's actually very nice and sharp. It looks really good. The rear end here, color block taillights, it looks very nice back here as well. Tailpipe looks good. All that stuff looks good. Louvers in the back look good. The rims look good. Look pretty awesome. Mirrors, oh my goodness. There are separate pieces. I'm going to not touch them. There's separate pieces for the windshield wipers. Those have to be fragile. Is that the case on the Supra? No, on the Supra they're not. They're actually part of the windscreen. They're molded into that and painted black, so the detail is there. But man, they put windshield wipers, like separate pieces for them on this. Be careful with those. You do not want those to break off. That'll look goofy. But that is a nice touch. I do like that. So it's the same as all these Tarmac premium models. These aren't really toy. Like you cannot like play with them. You can't like roll them across your desk. You can't do any of that stuff. You can take cool pictures of them. You can display them, and they'll look cool on display. But you can't, you know, use them as like fidget toys, basically, or anything like that, because you'll break them. And they don't roll anyway, so it's not like you can really do that. You can't. Yeah, no. The only issue I'm seeing with my particular example is this stripe on the side. Is a little spot where the paint didn't exactly go through. If I was a talented detail painter, like maybe if I worked in a nail salon or something like that, I'd probably be able to correct that, but not happening here. Do not have the hand for that. But I think all in all, it's a pretty stellar model. I like it. I'm definitely glad I picked this one particular one up. I like this one better than the Supra for sure. The color is interesting as well. I like this kind of a palish, lighter green color, and I think it looks really cool and definitely appropriate for this car. All right, so that's the Volvo, and that's it for Tarmac Works. We're gonna go ahead and get into Para64. Last two premium models we got to look at, and then we're gonna look at that tray of Lucy's. We're gonna save my favorite for last. We'll start with this guy right here. So Para64, again, acrylic display case. Actually, a very high quality acrylic display. This is super thick, actually a lot thicker than the Tarmac Works one. These also have so they're technically sealed, I suppose, by a sticker. So they do have that there, but we're just gonna cut that. And I'm just gonna cut it on both sides, actually. Yeah, you could spend time peeling it off. Whatever. This is my way of doing it. And it does not want to release. There we go. So Para64, this roof CTR Yellowbird, I guess, in red. And I almost wanted to be lazy and not take it off the base because I'm just going to be putting it right back on to display it, but let's go ahead and take it off. Okay, does it roll? Yep, sort of. All of these kind of roll. All of Para64's vehicles, I think, sort of roll. We do have a plastic base. It is screwed together, and it does look pretty awesome in red. I like Para. One of the things that Para does, I think that sets them slightly apart from other brands that do the kind of premium stuff, is a lot of times they will like black wash the body lines, where you can see in the door they actually put black in there, and in the hood lines and stuff like that they put black in there, and that kind of looks cool. Because in real life, when you see a car like in the gap, you don't see it just as like an indentation. You actually kind of see that there's black in there, darkness in there. And I think that that they do that to some of their vehicles, I think is pretty neat. I don't know if they do it on all of them, but this is the one that it's probably really noticeable on, are these roofs. But they do that. They also put a reflective like sticker or something on the back side of the mirror, which is kind of neat too. So there's that one in red. Let's go ahead and get this stuff out of the way here, and then let's look at the one in green. We got to pull this out. Set that there, and make our cuts. Yeah, this is the color I wanted. I don't know if that translates good on camera because it's dark, but this is the color. This is to me, aside from yellow, of course, because it is the yellow bird, right? This is the correct color for this car. The color I think it looks the best in. Stoked that they put it out in this color, honestly. This just brings back memories of PS2. Playing Gran Turismo when I first like really got into that game. So cool. I remember these cars were like hard to drive in that game too, being rear-wheel drive, rear engine, and the physics of that, even in the video game or whatever, was kind of crazy. Very easy to spin this car out. And back in the day, for that Gran Turismo for PS2, there was no rewind, guys. So if you weren't way ahead of the pack and you were like a couple laps in and you made a mistake, you lost that race and had to start all over. Remember that day? Remember those days when video games were hard? But yeah, that was an unforgiving video game sometimes. It rolls a little bit. With some adjustment, it would roll more. And that's fine. It's still really awesome. So I love that casting. I'm a huge fan of it. I probably will get every color that's coming out, that ever comes out in it. I don't know if they're going to release any more. That is yet to be seen. We'll see about that. But yeah, very cool. All right, so again, Surplus Goodies. Check him out for those. I think he's got those left. We need to get into this now. Trying to get this packaging out of the way here. We're going to put all that back together when we're done. Move that stuff out. And we're going to take a look at this tray of cars. We're going to go through it somewhat quick. Some of these I already have. And I just picked up because they were cheap. And I couldn't pass them up. Let's start with this guy right here. So we got a Dodge Viper. This particular one is a Racing Champ. No, it's a Green Light. That's right. So this one, Racing Champs put out, I think, put out this casting like very similar. It might even be the same tooling. So this was Green Light. This would have came out in the Motor World line, an early Motor World line. Really kind of cool car to get. These aren't very easy to find, I don't think. And just neat. Yes, Green Light did put out a Dodge Viper way back in the day. And again, it was for like the early series of Motor World when they did Green Light Motor World. So these have plastic bases, plastic tires. Some of them had rubber tires. Some of them had plastic. Painted details. I think this is probably originally a high-speed casting, I want to say. Meaning it would have been like the Malibu Diecast International release. I think maybe put this out. I might even have it in that brand somewhere around here. But all in all, I mean, it's a cool little model, and I'm definitely digging it. Actually, I think I do. Yeah, I've got it in, I think I have it in black already. But now I got it in this kind of metallic, bright green. Almost a Verde Mantis Lamborghini color. But yeah, pretty cool. So there's that. Here's another one. The same sort of deal. This was released as a green light, I believe. Yeah, green light. And this was also high-speed casting. This is a Jag. This one I know I've already got. I just got to compare it to the one I have to see if there's any issues with the one I've got, to see if I'm going to keep this one or not. But this is a cool car. This is nicely done too. This has rubber tires. It's got inserted details for the headlights and taillights and all that good stuff. And just a cool little model. So I dig that. So might as well stick with green light for a minute. Is there any other green light in here? Oh yeah, there's one more right here. That, don't think I had this one. It's an older green light. You got the green post on the bottom. Looks like we got a little bit of a wonky wheel. These older green light cars, I've talked about them quite a bit. It seems the quality control was pretty awesome back then. Just something about the quality of them. They just feel a little bit different. I think they were in a different factory or something than what Greenlight makes their stuff in now. And Greenlight makes cool stuff now, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that back in the day, like when they were first coming out with cars, I don't know, something about the quality of them. They just felt like a little bit heavier, a little bit, I don't know, better in some ways. But this is cool. This is probably in the Muscle Car Garage Flame series is my guess. I don't know for sure, but yeah, they did have a Muscle Car Garage series, and then there was one that just had all flames on all the cars. I think that was either that. It's either going to be that or into the stock and custom series that they had, which is also pretty cool. But it's a neat model. I dig it. And then, let's see here. We got this guy. This is a Shelby collectible. These used to be found at Toys R Us back in the day, and they're fairly detailed castings, and one of the castings in particular got used for Greenlight later on. But we got a lot of detail there in the motor. You got lens details for headlights, lens details for the taillights. It has opening doors. It is metal body, metal base. It is screwed together. It's got rubber tires. All in all, these were pretty quality. It rolls. These were really good quality little diecast cars. I didn't buy a lot of them, mainly because I didn't collect much when these were out, really, other than Hot Wheels and the occasional like Greenlight. I did collect Auto World, I think, at the time, and I wasn't about to add another company to the list. The only drawback of the Shelby collectibles was the fact that they were all Shelbys. So there wasn't a ton of variety. But the way that they made the castings, I think, was pretty nice and pretty well done. And I don't think they were very expensive either. So that's neat. I think they also had chases. Excuse me. I think they also had chases that had like colored tires and some wild stuff as well, but I don't think they were super desirable. Who knows? Maybe they go for more now. I have no idea. That might be a fun eBay episode, looking up Shelby collectibles and seeing what's all out there. All right. Next we got, well, actually, let's bust through some Auto World. So these are all, I just can't let this go, right? If I see an Auto World car like loose for $2 or something like that, what am I doing? Well, I'm probably just going to pick them up. Why? Because I have a problem. But we got two Vets in silver here. From the early licensed premium release, I think it's the first release. It was the first. Licensed premium release 1, version B, was the silver Vet. And yeah, so I picked them up because they were cheap. And yeah, I've already got them. But now I got two loose guns. What for? Well, not sure. Probably just going to hoard them because I got a problem. All right, there's that. And then again, here's another one. I got this actually because this is a Release 3 car. This is not in great shape though. Unfortunately, there is some like rubbing on the top that I don't think is rectifiable, and there's some rubbing on the hood too. that I don't think I'll be able to fix. So this one is going to go into... I saved some defective Auto World cars for eventually if I ever get back into making customs or something like that I can make like rusty customs and use these to make like junkers and stuff like that. So this might get saved for that purpose just because it's sort of defective. And it kind of sucks because it is kind of not a super easy one to find because it's from Premium Release 3 and all the cars in that release are kind of difficult to get. But it is what it is, so there's that. And again, I got it cheap, so big deal. This one again, this is from the original Deluxe series. And this one doesn't appear to be perfect either. There's some weird thing going on here where maybe that hubcap fell out of the wheel and somebody glued it back in or something. It's got something weird going on there. It's cool casting, though. We're going to see this in Auto World 2-packs coming out for Target. This casting's getting revived and reused. I'm actually really excited about it because this is probably my favorite Viper. I just thought it was the coolest looking one. And in 1/64 scale, I think it is my favorite Viper tooling. So there it is in yellow from the old Deluxe line. And after that, we got some Hot Wheels. We got a Getty square body. Pull that out of the packaging. Didn't have this one. This is a casting I collect, sort of. I mean, I don't really like... I'm not super crazy about trying to find all of them, but I do, when I see them again and I don't have it, or I know I don't have it, I do pick them up. It's an unlicensed truck, but it is a Chevy, I believe. I think it is, right? Yeah. It's supposed to be. And it's pretty awesome. It's a cool older tooling from Hot Wheels. A lot of times they do have these ugly, like, I think they call these construction tires or whatever the heck they are called on them. They're not the most attractive wheels, but that's fine. It's an old school Hot Wheel, and this one's in really good shape. It's just a Getty promo, and pretty cool. I got it pretty cheap, so there's that. We got a Ferrari 348. Stoked to snag this guy because I did not have it, and I do collect this casting. It's from the Revealers line. It's a little bit wild in its graphic, and color is weird too. Everything about it's a little bit weird, but you know, money, that's good, I guess. And yeah, not much else to say about that. And then we've got the Jaguar XJ220, another casting I collect. And I think the one that I didn't have either of these. I think I had the purple one, I needed the red one, and I needed the blue one. And these are also from the Revealer line. So I picked those up. Those Wild Ultra Hot Wheels. Pretty cool. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode. Wanted to show you those. Glad to get that out of the little storage area here. But the big deal is, of course, the Surplus Goodies stuff. So stoked on getting these trucks. Very, very cool. Again, thanks to Jimmy for helping me out with some good deals on that stuff. And I really do appreciate it. So you guys have a great rest of your day. This one did turn out to be long. I apologize about that, but it happens. And happens every week. I don't know why I ever say it's going to be, you know, shorter, because it's never going to be shorter. But whatever. It is what it is. All right. Thank you guys very much again for watching. Tune into the next one. That would be great. Like, comment, subscribe. That would be great too. You know, all that's good. All right. You guys have a great day.